Hey beautiful, during the group hike I promised some extra Spark Life Binder tips and then I totally forgot to give them to you. So here's a quick bonus. I know this is usually some of the tips that we do during the breaks between sprints in the group hike, but this is the one that I forgot to give you at the very end. So a few Spark Life Binder tips if you are working on your important papers binder. I like to keep my actual digital file on a USB drive for my Spark Life Binder, as well as save a copy in the secure notes area of LastPass, which is an online password management software. It's LASTPASS. So since it's extra secure, since it's a password software, for me, I feel comfortable, having used it for over a decade, keeping the entire copy of my digital Spark Life Binder file on there, as well as on a flash drive. And my flash drive, I like to grab one that has a hole in it, or at least somewhere that you could add a loop, because so I don't lose it and it's super easy to find when I need it. I can just take that hole and string it right through one of the rings in the binder, and that way it's always right with the binder. And that's really helpful, so you never worry about where to find the digital copy. Another tip for the Spark Life Binder, on the first checklist pages, this is a great place to keep track of what you still need in each section. So I usually do a highlight next to things that I'm still looking for, just so that my eye quickly finds it. That's just how I like to work. I X off anything that is completed, and I write extra notes in the blank area. So I know, for example, my extra notes is that we need to update, get the notarized, updated version of the living will and healthcare surrogate documents and all the different documents. I noted that it's the driver's license copy that I need a photocopy of for this section. Those are the types of things that I like to keep track of on this front checklist page that's in front of each person's section. So it's a lot easier than trying to flip through and see what fields are blank. And then another thing that I like to do, remember, you don't have to fill in anything that you aren't that interested in filling in. So for example, as I was filling out the information for the dependent section for my stepdaughter Kayla, in the area of past activities and past schools, I really was not interested in recording all of the information for each one. Just the main information was enough for me. So I was able to write, that she went to Ladybird Academy in innovation area, and I wrote that, and I did not feel the need to write down the email address, the address, all of that stuff. If you wanted to, you could also just include the website. But any fields you want to leave blank, go ahead and leave them blank. Just because they're there does not mean that you have to fill them in if it's not something that you would really be interested in recording. And then finally, when you are creating copies of your various credit cards, like these, I always say to make copies of the credit cards and put those in the financial area of your Spark Life Binder, because that way if one gets stolen or you have any problem, then you have quick reference to that credit card number and the contact number. So I always do front and back, and it's nice if you can do the front and back on the same page, so that way they go together. My cheat way of doing this is if you order the Spark Life Binder print copy, then you get a couple of these for your binder. These are just the business card holder pages. You can also just order them from Amazon or your office supply store. But I put the credit cards in one of these, and then I photocopy them while they're in here. Then they're nicely lined up, and then when I'm ready to photocopy the backs, instead of having to flip each one and trying to line them up, just flip the whole thing over and then photocopy it for the back side. So that just makes it a little bit easier to do the photocopying. And then I take the credit cards out of here and I use this for things like doctors, business cards, or service provider business cards, whatever else I need to use it for. But I hope that helps. Sorry, I forgot to tell you those during the hike. And I loved having my hike with you. It's always inspiring working side by side, watching you work live next to me, and it's a very chill, productive day. Thank you so much for being as amazing as you are. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.